Namaste. Good evening, respected elders, brothers and sisters, and all my bubbly friends here in the front row and some in between here and there. I see lovely smiling faces here. So I'll pitch this to suit maybe 25% of the kids here. I think 25% of the audience is kids, so I'll pitch it to them. So the adults will have to pardon me if some of it is very repetitive, boring, because you have not only lived through the war, but you have heard so much about it. But the kids wouldn't have been born, as I see most of their age, 1999. Any of the children here are born before 1999? Raise your hands. So yeah, all the kids are born after 1999. And how many adults are born after 1999? How many adults are born after 1999 year? Not many. So we have a clear divide. All the adults have been living during the war in some part of the country, and we have the children who were born after the war, all of them. So nice. So I'll try to pitch it to the children to explain them the background and why did this war happen. I'll keep it as short as possible. As soon as I heard Ramky One Kosmos, I liked the name. There was Ram also, there was Cosmos also. So I really liked the name of this community, Ram and Cosmos, both at an individual level and at a cosmic level. So you guys are lucky to own a community that is called Ramky One Kosmos. So for the benefit of the children, I'll tell them the story of Kargil in about 20 minutes. It will be very short, so you can give me a full attention. And we'll keep it a little interactive. If anyone is not understood anything, they can raise their hand because I don't want to all the elders know what has happened in Kargil. Okay. So first I'll give you a little bit of geography. Geography means the lay of the land, our country. Okay. How many? I'm sure some of you would have drawn the map of India. Map of India. Some of you know you've seen the map of India. So in the north, that is on the top of India, is what we know as Jammu and Kashmir. All of you know Jammu and Kashmir. How many of you have been there? Raise your hands. Okay, good numbers. Adults, I'm sure good, but children, I see about 5, 6 of them. So I'm sure sometime soon, maybe in some years to come, your parents will definitely plan a visit. Now it is very, very safe as compared to what it was when I was in the Air Force earlier. So Kashmir, whether you want to visit Jammu or the Kashmir Valley or the Ladakh. So some changes have happened, but Jammu and Kashmir, which is right on the top in the map, okay, we are talking about that land, children. Understand? That land is what we are talking about. And in that, there are 3 parts. 3 parts in that land. One is called Kashmir, the Kashmir Valley that we hear about, Kashmir Valley. What is a valley? Valley is a land. Super. Lowland between mountains. We had, you have to turn towards me. Turn towards me. Mere taraf gum jao. Yeah. So, lowland between mountains is valley. So, Kashmir Valley is that part. Then we have some land before we enter the Kashmir Valley, that is called the Jammu area. And then there is another place called Ladakh. The kids know Ladakh. So, what is Ladakh? Ladakh is it's a cold desert. Can a desert be cold? Yes, like Siberia. So, Ladakh is a cold desert. Very good. So, some of you might be listening to it first time. Don't worry, because even I heard it sometime first time only. So, unless you pay attention what I'm saying, you will be able to then go back and read more and understand. Okay. So, Ladakh is a cold desert. So, how is it different in a cold desert as compared to a very cold. Nothing grows in cold deserts also, but there will be just probably mountains, rocks, and snow, and maybe some frozen little plants, herbs, shrubs, yes, but nothing big grows in cold deserts. Okay, so that is the lay, how the land looks if you visit there. Some of you have gone, some of you have not gone. Some of you might have been just busy looking at the snow, but not understood how is this land called Ladakh. Why am I talking about Ladakh now? Because Kargil is part of Ladakh. Okay, there are only 2 districts in whole of Ladakh as on date. One is Kargil, the other is Leh. Leh is the place where people would have landed to visit Ladakh. because normally people land in Leh or they travel by road through Rohtang or through Srinagar. Depends on what journey you've taken. If anyone who's traveled to Ladakh, they would have typically landed in Leh by air. So Leh is the airport, a high altitude airport, which is the capital of today's what we call Ladakh. And Leh is itself a district also. But the important district for today's conversation is Kargil. Kargil is the second district. So it is by second district also, the large district also in Ladakh. Incidentally, after some changes in the in drawing Indian map, which we will discuss later, but that part, the whole of Gilgit-Baltistan, which has been occupied by Pakistan, Aksai Chin, which has been occupied by China, okay, all the children must understand that the map, Jammu and Kashmir, what we draw is ours, but parts of it have been occupied by our neighbors. And they don't pay rent to us. Okay? So they've occupied. They're living in our land. Someday, I'm sure we will get it back. By the time you people grow up, we'll get that land back. Like a lot of good things are happening in this country. So now coming to Pakistan occupied Kashmir and Aksai Chin, all that form part of what is called Ladakh. Okay, Ladakh today. And Kargil is that district, okay, which is like the land in between Srinagar Valley and a very important battlefield in India. The highest battlefield in the world called, anyone knows the highest battlefield in the world? What is it called? Anyone? Siachen. We have, so kids wouldn't have heard, no problem. Siachen is the name of the place. Okay, so Siachen is the place which is the highest battlefield in the world. It's in excess of, I think 17, 18,000, probably touching 20,000 feet and more, up to 25,000 feet. It is part of the Karakoram range and the Saltoro Glacier, that is the region. It is sandwiched right on the top between Pakistan occupied Kashmir, India's Ladakh, and Aksai Chin, which is occupied by China. Okay, so right there. So that part is connected from Srinagar via Kargil. So Kargil is coming in between these two places. Somewhere in this area is where Siachen is. This part is Aksai Chin. This whole part is Gilgit-Baltistan. This is the, now we've got these divisions happen, which is Jammu and Kashmir, and this whole thing has become Ladakh. But this part of Kashmir is with Pakistan. This part of Kashmir is with, or Ladakh is with China. So this is where Kargil is. This is where is Siachen Glacier and where our soldiers are positioned right now. While we are talking, there are people in very low temperatures living below minus 40 degrees centigrade. तो हमें तो अभी भी ठंड लग रही है, तो वो तो बहुत ठंड में काम करते हैं उधर. अगर आप जाएंगे श्रीनगर, जम्मू और लेह. Okay, anybody is not understood anything till now? Questions, we'll keep it later. But if you not understood anything, understood what is Kashmir, what is Ladakh, Kargil. Kargil is coming in between both Srinagar and Siachen. Why did I talk about Siachen? Because Siachen, I told you, is a battlefield. That is the highest battlefield, which India has control of that place in Kashmir. Pakistan did not like it. Pakistan wanted to cut off Siachen and its supplies to Indian armed forces. So what have they done? They decided to spoil the route or the journey from Srinagar to Siachen area. And Kargil was there in between. So what did they do? Every year, I'll give a background. Every year, what do you do when you go on vacation with your parents? To your house, what do? You will lock it. You lock your house, lock the door, and then mama keeps the key. In most cases, some cases, papa keeps the key safely, and you go on vacation. And then when vacation is over, you come back, you open your door, and you get inside, no? So what happens on the border between India and Pakistan, there are high mountains between 15,000 feet. Just for idea, Hyderabad is at 2,000 feet from sea level. Hyderabad is at 2,000 feet from sea level. Srinagar is at 5,000 feet from sea level, Srinagar. And Kargil probably 7,000 to 8,000 feet from sea level. The mountains in Kargil, Tiger Hill, Tololing, and these places are in excess of 4 to 5 kilometers, translates to about above 15,000 feet from sea level. So the border, which is the line of actual control, which is along the ridges of those areas, almost about 200 kilometers in Kargil, between India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay, that area is a very high altitude area. So what happens in winters, somewhere in probably October, November, both the soldiers on both the sides, it's a unwritten rule, both decide and they both come down from the mountains so that they can live better, they can survive, they can come down, and after the winters are over, they go back again and stand guard. It is like your security guards who are standing at the gate in the daytime. At night they'll go and sit in the chair, no? Because they can't stand at the gate all day long. So exactly like that, they go and sit in the chair. Like that in winters, the soldiers just come down from the mountains a little bit, not completely, a little bit, and they stay down. And after the winters are over, they go back again to occupy the same post. Everybody knows that is Pakistan post, this is India's post. There's no confusion. Like when you come back from vacation, do you go and open someone else's apartment? You open your own apartment, right? With your key. So exactly the same way, Indian soldiers again go back to occupy their posts only. But what happened in 1998, December, is a very bad plan somebody had cooked up. And he was none other than Musharraf. Parvez Musharraf was the army chief in Pakistan. And what did he do? He said, ये politicians तो अपना काम करते रहते हैं, ये शांति शांति करते रहेंगे, हम अपना काम करते हैं. तो what did Parvez Musharraf do? He told his soldiers, Indian soldiers जैसे उतर जाते हैं, आप भी उतर जाओ. दोनों सबको लगेगा कि सारे उतर गए हैं, बट फिर आप वापस चढ़ जाना. हाँ, सर्दी पूरा शुरू होने से पहले फिर चढ़ जाना ऊपर और वहीं रह जाना. सामान हम पूरा सप्लाई करते रहेंगे, उतरना नहीं वहाँ से करके परवेज मुशर्रफ ने अपने सोल्जर्स को बताया है. कितने सोल्जर थे? 5,000 कुछ सोल्जर थे. 5,000 कुछ सोल्जर. वो पूरा 200 किलोमीटर के एक्सटेंशन ऑन द लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल दे ऑक्यूपाइड Indian posts. Now what is the advantage of doing that? They will move on this side of the ridge. It is like आप अपने टावर में एक तरफ देख रहे हो, मतलब you're looking inside the community. You're looking inside the community. What if you occupy the flat opposite to your apartment? Then you can see on the other side of the community also, na? So exactly like that, these people have crossed over the actual line of control into India, and they're able to see the road from Srinagar all the way towards Siachen as much as they can. And that is enough to cause problem for us. How do they cause problem then? They can use artillery guns and they can help distant fire from behind to go accurately to those points and disturb our routes, disturb our logistics and cut off Siachen. When they are able to do that, then what will happen for them? परवेज मुशर्रफ ने बोला है वो सियाचिन भारत इंडियंस ने ले लिया है. सियाचिन लिया हमारा ही है, बट हम आके उसके ऊपर बैठ गए थे. तो हमें वहाँ से हटाने के लिए पहले हमारा सप्लाई सब बंद करना पड़ेगा. अगर आप लोग जब घर में रह रहे हो, आपको घर से बाहर निकालने के लिए हम किसी को अंदर नहीं आने देंगे. आपका खाना सुपरमार्केट से सब स्विगी सब बंद कर देंगे. तो आप लोग क्या करोगे? घर से ज़्यादा देर नहीं रुक पाओगे ना, घर से बाहर आना ही पड़ेगा. क्यों खाना नहीं आ रहा, क्या हो रहा है, मम्मी पापा नहीं है, ऐसे होता है ना. तो ऐसे ही हुआ था उधर भी. सो व्हाट डिड दे डू? दे सप्लाइड देयर सोल्जर्स एंड दे डिड नॉट लेट आवर सोल्जर्स कम बैक आफ्टर द विंटर्स बिकॉज इट वॉज अ प्लान. इट इज़ लाइक योर नेबर. What does he do? Your neighbor, you have left the house, you have given the key to them, you've gone on vacation. When you come back, your neighbor's family is living in your house also, and they are saying ये तो हमारा घर है और निकलने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। यहाँ ऐसे नहीं होगा, यहाँ सारे अच्छे नेबर्स है, लेकिन वहाँ ऐसे प्रॉब्लम है पाकिस्तान के साथ। तो वो लोग आके हमारे जगह बैठे थे, फिर उनको निकालने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ा। इतना मेहनत करना पड़ा कि 500 से ऊपर जवान शहीद हो गए। वाई? बिकॉज व्हेन समबडी इज सिटिंग ऑन द टॉप, आप देखेंगे फर्स्ट फ्लोर में आपका कोई दोस्त है, फर्स्ट फ्लोर में यहाँ पर, और आप नीचे हैं उसको बुला रहे हो, ओके वो आपके ऊपर पत्थर भी फेंक सकता है, फूल भी फेंक सकता है, कुछ भी फेंक सकता है, आप उसको नहीं फेंक पाओगे इतनी अच्छी तरह, उसको लगेगा भी नहीं। और वही सोचो अगर वो सेकंड फ्लोर में है या थर्ड फ्लोर में है, तो वो आपके साथ ये फेंकने का काम कर सकता है, लेकिन आप नहीं कर पाओगे नीचे से। तो नाउ उस जगह में जहाँ पर हमारे पोस्ट थे इंडिया के, पाकिस्तानी सोल्जर्स बैठे हुए हैं, और हमारा है, सबको मालूम है, पूरा दुनिया को मालूम है, पाकिस्तान बोल रहा है वो जो लोग बैठे हैं वो हमारे नहीं है, ऐसे पाकिस्तान बोल रहा है, और युद्ध चिढ़ गया है। द वॉर हैड टू स्टार्ट बिकॉज वी हैव टू टेक बैक आवर लैंड। हम तो पाकिस्तान के अंदर नहीं जा रहे थे, हम हमारा ही पोस्ट वापस लेना चाह रहे थे। तो उस वजह से कारगिल वॉर हुआ, और वॉर में लाइक आई सेड 527, I think someone covered in the beginning, 527 soldiers got martyred. Amongst them, there are some pilots also. So, I will not get into the details of the war, but this is the, the big picture or the mota of the war. And in the question and answers, then we can take on anything that comes depending upon, what you people want to know, if I am able to answer. Okay, so that kids have mostly understood the importance of Kargil. So Kargil is the name of a place. Kargil is the name of a district also, and in the district, the capital is also called Kargil only in that place. There are a lot of districts in India where the capital of the district and the district are have the same name. तो कारगिल जगह का भी नाम है, कारगिल डिस्ट्रिक्ट का भी नाम है, और कारगिल ऐसे जगह में है वेरी स्ट्रैटेजिकली लोकेटेड, बहुत अच्छी जगह है। जैसा सम ऑफ योर अपार्टमेंट्स आर, व्हेन यू लुक अराउंड यू कैन सी एवरीथिंग इन योर कम्युनिटी, सम ऑफ द अपार्टमेंट्स आर लाइक दैट। सो ऐसा है लोकेशन उसका, वेरी स्ट्रैटेजिक, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लोकेशन कारगिल, बिकॉज ऑफ विच पाकिस्तानीज मेड अ डर्टी प्लान, बट दे फेल्ड मिजरेबली because they lost, though they were on the top, they lost equal number or more soldiers. Unfortunately, for an adventure, Musharraf had unfolded, and later Musharraf also became their head of state, and then he was removed also. Later he lost elections and he died also. I think maybe this year beginning or last year beginning sometime he passed away. But the interesting thing out of Kargil, what we have learned is India never attacks anybody. India does not attack anybody. You will think, अरे हमारे soldiers तो उनको मारे थे तो अटैक किया होगा, लेकिन वो लोग हमारे जगह में थे, हमारे घर में थे, इसलिए उनको हमें अटैक करना पड़ा। हम दूसरे के घर जाके किसी को अटैक नहीं करते हैं, आज तक ऐसा हुआ ही नहीं है इंडिया। बट हमारे नेबर्स कुछ ऐसे हैं, क्या करें? वी हैव टू लिव विथ आवर नेबर्स. Who are our big neighbors who are causing problem to us, children? China. So China is also doing the same to us, but I'm sure that we will have become strong. All of you study well. All of you study well. All of you become strong physically. Just पढ़ने से नहीं होगा ना? पढ़ने से क्या है, कोई भी आके आपको मार देगा, तो आपको ताकतवर भी बनना है। कैसे? खाना पीना करना है, खेलना है, कूदना है, ठीक है सबको, तभी हम एक ताकतवर देश बनेंगे और चाइना और पाकिस्तान हमारा कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ पाएगा, जैसा कारगिल में भी हुआ था। बट इट्स अ सैड थिंग दैट वी लॉस्ट आवर सोल्जर्स एंड वी रिमेंबर देम every year at this time in July, because the war started in May, ended in July. It almost took 2 months to complete the war and take over our land back from the Pakistanis. And Pakistan, which was denying, this is for the adults, Pakistan which was denying that they were not involved in the war officially, it took them 7-8 years to acknowledge their own martyrs. They were, all the Paki soldiers, officers who died in the war were remain unhonored. They were never, acknowledged. And later it came out that yes, so many Pakistani soldiers, officers, as India had claimed, have been honored by them, because how long will they deny their own population, and how long will they lie to their nation? Where have their children gone? Where have their soldiers gone? They cannot disappear nowhere. So Pakistan has done such a mischief in the past. Every 15, 20 years, they will do some mischief. But now I think they will not do that kind of mischief anymore, because they've become very weak. But then we cannot take it easy, because we have another neighbor similar like China, who's very powerful. So we have to become very strong ourselves at every level. I'm sure there are a lot of challenges everywhere. So India also, as a family will be able to take care of the problem. But all of you should grow up to become something for the country. Wherever, you don't have to go to the border. Wherever you are, you should serve the nation. Okay? And then India will be able to take on any problem in the future. So that much, I think I'll leave it to the Q&A. If there's anything you want me to tell you, a mic might be required for people.